Soul Disconnected podcast, the platform designed to reconnect us, bring us back to a common ground to understand one another. Open about our flaws and failures, focused on growth and positivity. The flame in the dark that burns in our soul. Yeah. Check. 1, 2. Yeah. You're now locked in the Soul Disconnected podcast. I'm When Tony Writes. This is episode 11, New Age Takeover with Renato Martinez.
What's up, man?
What's good, bro?
That's smooth, man. That's like one of the best intros I've heard in a podcast. Yeah, I was kind of like, do I come in or no, I'm gonna shut up and just let him do his thing. That was cool.
Yeah, and I appreciate it, bro.
Of course, man.
You know, I actually gotta shout out my radio pass for giving me that experience and let me see how it kind of works. And I don't know, I just ran with it.
Hey, it works.
I just ran with it, and
it's a good intro.
This is what I started doing. So I'm grateful that you took the time out of your busy schedule to be here and share your story with me.
Hell yeah.
And to spread some positive vibes, man.
Cool, man.
Every time that I see you on your platforms and doing what you're doing, you're always smiling, you're happy, you know, like. And it's good because it feeds good energy. I see you working out, killing it, doing your shows, and it motivates me and it keeps me inspired to keep doing what I'm doing, bro.
That's what I want. That's the goal.
So what do you do? Let these people know what you do, bro.
What I do, okay. As you heard, I go by Renato, a.k.a. Nato, New Age Takeover. I do a few things. One of the things I'm really known for is New Age Athletics. Mm-hmm. My business of training athletes or just anybody in general, weight loss, so that I've been doing that, training clients as a business like since 2015. So I think I'm going on my 5 years. Nice. 2020 is coming up. I just realized that. Yeah. So that'll be 5 years I've been legally as a business. Training people, working out. I've been doing that. Well, started working out at the age of 16. Actually, like training people. I think I was a senior in high school. So like 17, 18. Helped my friend lose, I think, 80 pounds.
Nice.
Yeah, this is when I knew I was going to do this the rest of my life. We were freshman year in college. I was running track at Mount Sac, and we were playing basketball in the IBL, which we still are. And I had a friend, Kelvin, who I needed to pick up on the team. He was really good at basketball, and I said, if you run with us, I'll help you get in better shape. Time went by. He ends up losing 80 pounds, and it was, ironically speaking, it was around this time, so many years ago. I can't give you the exact years. He stepped on the scale. He was just shocked. And I was like in tears because just knowing like his expression just made me realize like, yo, like I did something, but I didn't do anything. I did something, but I didn't do anything. Mm-hmm. And that moment was, if I could do this for other people, I'm good with my life. Like if I could give this to somebody else, I feel like I've accomplished a lot.
That's dope. Yeah, that's a great feeling, bro.
Yeah, it is, man.
Because you pushed that person, like you know, you didn't break them. You just kind of helped them see who they are,
exactly,
and be better with themselves and treat themselves better.
Oh yeah.
And then, dude, to lose that much weight, and then your confidence goes through the roof. How you feel about yourself goes through the roof. You just start feeling better. You start to look better, and you feel better.
And it was cool because like here comes this. He was chubby, man. Here comes this chubby basketball player who could just shoot a 3-ball and piss you off because he'd beat you to the basket. He'll throw a pass. Like I remember playing with him for the first time. I was like, "How are you doing all this? Like you, the way you look doesn't translate to how you play." And I think that's what made me more like I got attracted to that. Because it was like I was this tall guy and I was pretty good on the basketball court, but he made me look like I was the college one hooper, a Division I hooper, because the way we did the pick and roll. And then we just ran with it more, and then we played basketball together, and it was unstoppable. And it was fun because here comes this me athletic guy who looks the part, but yet here's this guy who doesn't look the part, but who's the one who's making the moves happen. So that's why we just kept on building. So when he started losing weight, he never touched rim. Next thing you know, he's touching rim.
Nice.
Next thing you know, he's like beating big, like we played the other day, like on a Thursday about a month ago at 24 and Summit against some high school kids who looked like they should have blew us out of the water. You know, I'm gonna turn 28. He's 26. So we're not done, but we're not like 18-year-olds who are constantly doing this anymore. Life happens, so we played and we're just like looking at each other like we still got the juice, man. We still got this.
Yeah, that's dope, bro.
Yeah. So then going back to talking to what else I do, I also started coaching a travel basketball team. I'm an assistant program director and a head coach for the 6th grade team. So we have a 6th grade, a 6 black, and the 7th grade. So I have more of the underdeveloped kids. And I like that. It's because the way I coach, I'm more of a calm calm demeanor. I don't like yelling. I don't feel like it's needed. I think the best coaches are more quiet and just allow the kids to go through the motion and then, correct the small things, because I feel like there's such thing as overcoaching. And I feel like a lot of people do that and get upset when their kids can't do it. But then they'll say so many things at one time. It's like you can't do that.
Yeah, I think the kids will. It's too much pressure.
It is, yes.
And at that point, they'll just break before they correct their mistakes. You talk to them, you run drills, you practice on the things that they're gonna need help with the most, and then they'll correct it and get better at it.
And that's one thing that I've had to learn. That's one I'm thankful for the years I spent training people, because that's given me so much patience to where now as a coach that patience is there, and I'm very more. I like the assistant role more than I like the head coach role where I'm at in my life, because so much that I'm doing, it does not that I don't mind the pressure of being a head coach. Like one day I do, but being an assistant coach, I get more of the background stuff. Julio, who's in charge of the whole program, focuses on the main things. I get the small things, the cookie cutter stuff. I guess you could say. I like to focus on the kids in the back, because if I get them better, now they're going to be competing for everybody in the front spot. So
now they're going to work harder.
Yes.
And the whole team as itself is improved way more.
And I like that. And I think another story, I coached at Bloomington assistant coach of the track and field team.
Nice.
Same thing. It was I was a head hurdle coach, assistant track coach of the whole program. So I ran the hurdles, but I also worked with other sprinters who aren't as fast, because it is what it is. A lot of coaches are going to, if we're going to focus on the ones who are going to give us the most reward. It's just the reality of things. And then that's why I think it's good to have an assistant coach like myself, or any other assistant coach who understands the importance of also focusing on the kids who aren't getting that most attention. And it got to a point where one of the girl hurdlers that I coach, Michelle, she actually broke the 300 intermediate hurdle school record at Bloomington, her second year hurdling.
Nice.
Yeah, man, it was cool. So yeah, I like doing stuff like that.
That's history right there. That's gonna go in the books.
It is. Like it was funny because we were towards the end of the season. I was looking at her times, and then in my head I'm like, okay, she's improving a lot. I don't know what the school record is for the hurdles. And then I look, I'm like, oh, she's like a second, and she was literally a second away. And a second away with hurdles could be easily taken off by just the details of how we attack the hurdle. Sprinting 100 meter to 200 meter a second, that's different. That scaling is different, because it's so you're only sprinting. The margin of error is much more. The margin of error of a sprinter is smaller than the margin of error of a hurdler. A hurdler could fix his mistakes in between the hurdles. Going over the hurdle, that's when everything needs to move. That's when we get the times back. So next thing you know, her last race of her sophomore season, she broke the school record, and then she ran it. Yeah, it was great, man. It was cool. Like I never thought I'd be a track coach, let alone break a school record for my first year of coaching.
Nice, that's crazy.
It's cool. And then it's a little background story with that, with fitness. I mean, I bodybuild. I did 2 years of bodybuilding. I competed once. That was great. I think that was the most disciplined I ever been in my life. It was great. Like you had to be, like, spiritually. It was crazy. Spiritually, it was on another level. Mentally, on another level. Physically, on another level, because everything had to be mapped out. Even like detail work. Like
there was a formula to how you had to do this.
There's a legit formula to bodybuilding. I mean, there's a legit formula to everything, but bodybuilding, it's so detailed, because it's macros, meeting your carb when you carb cycling, whether that means quick like backstory of carb cycling. It's like everybody's different. I had a 4-day split. 200 one day, 150 grams the next, 75 the next. On the third day, and then the fourth day, no carbs. It was hard to adjust to. But it was interesting to see my body go from like this wide stature to tighten up. And all of a sudden, the next day I do a refeed, my body just blew up. And then it did that again. And then you see it, and all of a sudden your body fat goes away. And it is all nutrition. And then next thing you know, it comes show day, you're 11 days out of the show, you start cutting out your water, you go in the sauna, and all of a sudden you stand at 215, and now you're like at 193 point some percent body fat on stage. It was cool, man. It was crazy. A lot.
That'll be nice.
My friends thought I was crazy, because there was times where I almost passed out because of working out. But it was, for me, it's like I kind of like that. I like knowing that I could tap into that.
Like pushing yourself.
Yeah, I like that space. Exactly. It's fun. I mean, I can't go back and do it, but now, as I told myself at the age of 35, I kind of want to get back into it. Right now, I feel with basketball, coaching basketball, and I'm just in a state where I want to play more basketball.
Mm-hmm.
And I feel like I barely tapped into my IQ of a basketball player now that I'm coaching more and now that my athleticism is getting better. And I guess it's true. Like you do, this is like you're 28 to 32, 33. It's kind of like that prime.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm learning that because I'm like, yo, I'm 28 in March. And the way I think, the way I move, the way I feel, reflecting when I was 18, I'm like, damn, I thought I had it then. Like now I'm looking back at myself like you was dumb, dog. Like you thought, but now it's like it's a different level. So that's something.
It's more like understanding and being able to like fully like tap into your potential, what you can do.
Exactly. And I think that's why I love working with the kids I work with, because I didn't get training on my own time outside of like the playing. I was doing like football, basketball, and track. Like that was my practice, but I never got outside help outside of the training time. I mean, back when I was 8 to 12, 13, we're on the streets, we're running, we're shooting basketball, we're doing that. Nowadays, not a lot of kids do that. So I love working with the kids I work with now because I have some 9-year-olds who are barely getting the understanding of how to run. Now, these 9-year-olds who are going to be 11, who are going to be 13, they're already ahead of the curve so much on athleticism that they could just focus on the developmental as a basketball, football player, because a lot of these times, these parents of these young athletes want these kids to be tremendous sport specific players, but they don't even have an understanding of how to run. And it's like you're doing everything backwards.
You have to get the fundamentals down, like
excellent. Like you look at Tim Duncan or look at even LeBron James now. He's fundamentally so beyond sound, but he was so athletic that he got away with certain things because he was so athletic. Now as he gets older, he's lost a step, but he's so fundamentally sound and so athletic. It's kind of like you've lost a step, but you kind of haven't lost a step anymore. You're like your loss of step is still a gap between the next best player behind you, but it's starting to close now with all these young superstars. But that's how I view it as. What else do I do? Well, poetry.
Yeah, that's what I was gonna say. How'd you get into the poetry and the music side of everything?
So, writing my business plans out. I was reading Think and Grow Rich and The Laws of Success by Napoleon Hill, and I recommend everybody, please, like, just even if you don't want to read it, just listen to the audiobook. And I think that was the biggest thing. My friend Sabrina, who actually owns My New Body Fitness, where Marisol trains at, I need to buy the audio for her, Sabrina, because I had her albums and it was like 7 CDs of Think and Go Rich and the audio, and I just left it in my car every day. And it was cool. Like it was 30 to 40 minutes, but it was just being in that mind state of being present with those words, with the vocabulary, with that energy of just your words, man.
Yeah,
They're
not
powerful.
only that, but it playing in your ears and you're listening to it because you're surrounding yourself with this type of information and it's soaking in your brain, even though you may not realize that you're retaining that information. It's going in there consistently.
Yeah, it's subconsciously registered. In music, like my next project, which should be dropping in March, I have a song called Walking Dead, and it's literally based upon the idea of us as human beings consuming not so much food, but also audibly and visually things that we shouldn't be consuming on a subconscious level. Even like you said, with that, it's so much that we're consuming that we're not even aware of, to a point. It's like some people, even myself, like I'm not going to sit here and say I'm perfect. Like I have times where you lose focus and you just, there's
scrolling on the gram.
Yeah, you be scrolling on the gram. Like I'm not perfect. Like I'm Twitter, I'll be on Instagram, I'm Twitter, or whether it's on Facebook, that I can't do that no more. It's just so much of just.
There's a lot of toxic stuff.
A lot, man.
Out there.
It's sad because it's like I understand, like there needs to be a place to vent. Like I agree, but at what point do us as human beings realize that sometimes it's best to digest it silently and then let it be? Because if you're always putting it out there. And one of my friend Colleen from Future Soul, with poetry, I haven't really recited in a while because there's a lot of emotional connections with my poetry. Like it's my poetry has been known as deep. It's very emotional. My performances are emotional. It's very emotional. I perform when I do my poetry. And she asked why I haven't done it in a while. It's because I have such a heavy emotional connection with it that once other people start emotionally connecting with it, it becomes something powerful. Because now if emotion is energy in motion. So now if we understand energy and the law of attraction, us speaking certain things in existence, what am I really bringing into my existence? Because now it's not just me. it's like, even if it's just 5 people, even if it's 10 people, if it's 15 people who are reading my stuff, and if they're saying it out loud, what's, people, we're moving mountains, because now there's 3 or more people meeting my name, which says in the Bible. So now these words are coming out that I wrote, that this person's either hearing me say, or recite me say, or reading me say. So that's pretty powerful. But poetry started with my business plan when I was writing New Age Athletics, this business plan out. Something felt it was missing in me. And it was, ironically speaking, I was training my boy John, who's it's Link. Link is from Pomona, great producer. I don't know, you may know him.
Yeah, I know him because he knows my boy Jay Rebel.
Oh yeah, I train Rebel man. What's cool, man? Jay Rebel, man. I'm a big fan of Jay Rebel, and I'm so thankful that he was more than willing to be on my album. It was just like, yo, man, like, I have a track that's called Samson. You have dreads, I have dreads. I want to talk about like the idea of us having dreads and the power of the dreadlock and stuff like that. And he was like, I'll do it. But it sucked because when we recorded it, he had his hair, but then once I released the album, he had cut his hair. So I was like, damn, dog, like, why? But it was cool, like, it made sense. But yeah, so okay, Link, I was training Link at the time, and it was cool because when you start to wander off into certain ventures like poetry, more of those people are going to come into your life. So I was around a bunch of poets, and next Link came in, and here's a producer, and it got to a point where I was like, okay, if he's around me now, cool. But now, why are all these other artists coming together? I mean, is it just me being the trainer, or is the idea of me getting into music always been there? Because I would always say this when I used to, in the car when I was like in dating, and I would always say I'd give up anything to sing. I stopped saying that. I haven't said that in a while now, but now I'm actually working on singing. And then things just started clicking. I'm like, okay, my business plan, I wrote it out. Next thing you know, I was just always writing, just writing, whether it was ideas, concepts relating to business. How do I grow my business? How do I generate revenue? Even if it's just like, even if it's not concrete, but it's just writing it down, just being in that state. And then next thing you know, I stopped writing I stopped writing for business, and I wrote about my eyes, because I wear contacts and eyeglasses, and without them, like, quote unquote, I'm legally blind, so I really can't see. And I wrote it out, and it just sounded like a song. Like, I'm like, yo, this is cool. Like, this sounds like a song.
Yeah.
And then next thing you know, I started writing more. It went from like 4 to 5. The funny thing about me writing poetry is, like, I'm a street poet. I'm not a book poet. I'm not a grammar poet. I don't like counting stanzas. I don't like doing that. I just like writing out.
Yeah, I'm the same way.
It's fun.
Yeah, I free write.
Yeah, free write. Yeah. And then I think it's beautiful when there is free write. I mean, shout out to Judah. He was like my
He's a legend.
He's a legend, bro. Man. Like,
he's a legend.
Cal Poly. When we went to Cal Poly St. Louis Obispo, that was an interesting event. I tagged along with him. He performed at St. Louis Obispo. And I just thought I was going to do the open mic. But then next thing you know, he looked at me. He was like, I have a 30-minute set. I have 15 minutes. I have a 15-minute half and a 15-minute half. I'm going to do 2 poems, and then I'm going to let you finish off my first half. And then I'm going to do the second half. And if I feel like giving you the second part of the second half, I'll give it to you. I was like, I'm cool with the first half. Man, Judah, like, just being around him and knowing him as a person and getting to know a deeper understanding of his poetry, just knowing that he liked my poetry. And it wasn't because he was coaching me. It was like a genuine, I like your poetry. I'm going to go beyond what I'm supposed to do. Because it was a poetry as alchemy course. It was cool because I ended up only 3 people started. I was the only one who stayed consistent. And it was great because we even went deeper. We weren't supposed to do performance coaching. But then it got to a point where it was like, well, you're already, how to write. Now let's work on your performances. We did that. That became a thing, and he even knew it. Like, we went over haikus and all that. Like, it got to a point where, like, writing haikus are nothing. Writing in the formula was nothing. But I'm like, I don't like the structure of it. I like the freedom of just being able to write. And when I recite it, I like to be able to go there. Because there's moments where I'll recite a poetry one day some way. The next day I might feel different. The third day I might feel different. I don't like it to be condition. I like my emotions there with certain words. I'm gonna let it be.
Yeah, and every time you perform it, it could be totally
It's
different.
cool, man.
The
Yeah,
energy could be totally different.
the energy's different. There might be days where I might be more aggressive, where I might speed it up, but there's maybe days where I want to be slowed down, and I want you to feel that pain, or I want you to feel that aggressiveness, and that happened with poetry. And then going back to Link, I was like, hey, dude, like I was around him more in the studio.
Mm-hmm.
It was like with J Rebel, with Space, a few guys from Slay Squad, a few Marcel, who's a great singer, and then some of his homies from Florida were around. And it was just cool being in that spot because that was the first time I was around a bunch of various rappers, and it was cool because I'm like the poet and they're a bunch of rappers, and like it's a different demeanor in a sense. Like poets, we're more not a demeanor of a rapper and a poet. They're two different things, and I think that's something that I had to grasp and let go of because it's like I'm not that. I mean, I rap, but I don't feel like I'm like that hard.
Yeah,
like I'm not that.
Yeah, like just the way you carry yourself is like different. And it's not like there's no negative or positive to it. It's just like it's neutral, but it's just a different type of just a different type of culture, I guess.
Yeah.
between the two.
It is. There's a big difference culture, and I think the poetry culture really is more. I don't want to say supportive, but I've noticed that the poetry scene does bring out a different audience. The hip hop scene. Go ahead.
I'm sorry to cut you off,
Go
but
ahead.
you know what's amazing about a lot of the poetry events? When you go to poetry events, people are there to watch poetry.
They are.
And then when you go to like shows, like local shows, it's like I like the support.
Party?
I like the support of other artists supporting other artists, but sometimes that's all it is.
That's all it is.
It's artists just there to watch other artists perform. They perform, then they dip out. And it's like the poetry scene is like a little bit different because you go, you share poetry, then you may meet someone new for the first time who's either a fan, someone that's there supporting someone else, or just someone there to catch the vibes. Not everyone there is a poet.
Exactly.
Some people are there to see like the performances of these people.
Have you? Oh, DPL. Me and I are supposed to go. We're supposed to go.
Yeah. We still are going to. We gotta lock that in.
My friend Micah, she's coming back from Japan, and she's a great poet, and she's gonna be back soon. And the goal is, I was jokingly, I said, when you get back, are we gonna take back our throne? Because I stopped, man. It's.
When's the last time you think you've done a piece?
Like an actual performance at a poetry venue, or just I'll perform poetry in my music in between sets, but it hasn't been because I think I wanted to get away from being the poet for a bit to see how I was as a rapper, because a lot of I like to listen to what other people say about my music only to a certain extent. Because everybody does have their own opinion, and some people I really value their opinion, and even if I did value their opinion, I'll listen, I'll digest it, but then I'm like, okay, that's their perspective, not anything negative about it. But then I have people who actually support and listen to my music on a daily basis. I'm like, I care more about what you like.
Exactly,
because
you're catering to your audience.
Yes.
Before someone else's perspective or opinion.
Yes, and then even like a Steven who from Brit he's that's filthy, that's you know what I'm talking about. I think it's with the Concha. That's filthy.
Yeah, I think so.
You know who I'm talking about. We sat down, he listened to my project, and he made a few comments. I'm like, I knew you were gonna pick that up because you have the ear for it. And the comments, they weren't negative. It's the reality of my music. Like, my music's not too turned up. It's more lyrical. It's deep. Like, you're meant to sit down and listen to it. It's not something you're gonna bump in the car. I honestly tell people I feel like my music's background noise, and not that's a bad thing. It's something that, let's just say you're cleaning your room, you're gonna listen to that.
Yeah. It's like it's just like it's ambience.
It's ambient.
Yes. For the background, and like you said earlier though, like listening to audibles and listening to books, it's like gonna resonate with you. You can be doing other things, and then later on you're like, oh shit.
Yep.
Like it comes back to you. You
know
what I mean?
And then he even says he made this comment, and I like the fact they said that because I like my music for this. He said the only time I feel like I would listen to music if I was stoned. I was like, that's okay with me. That's what I want. I make my music. When intentionally speaking, I make my music for a listener's experience. I'm intimate. I'm a poet. I'm a spoken word artist. I crave intimacy. Even me as a person, I crave intimacy. We all crave intimacy. And there's been times where I'll go home after a performance, and if I have an edible, I could talk about this, right? Can I?
Yeah,
Okay,
yeah.
cool,
It's
cool.
this is free range,
Okay,
bro.
cool. I'll have an edible, and then I'll go in my room, and I'll purposely put my studio headphones on, and I'll lay in my bed, and it's that feeling of my music, just like the way it comes in,
Uh
certain sounds. I'm like, yep, this is what I wanted.
huh.
And this is my last performance. This chick was on shrooms. I didn't know till afterwards, and I have a song called like, going back to the Walking Dead song. It's like a very eerie track,
Uh huh.
very eerie. The way the beat comes in, the way I say certain things, the way my cadence is. It's not a typical hip hop rap song. It's
Uh
very
huh.
eerie-ish. And and next thing you know, like I'm doing my thing. I'm just there behind the mic stand, and it's me being that poet, like letting you know that this is me being that poet. I'm telling you the story of my body too, my eye language, my hand gestures. As a poet, like that's what we do. We tell the story.
Yeah.
And I look over, and there's this chick with her eyes closed, just swaying back and forth, and
Like
it
feeling
like
that
feeling it
shit.
like hard. Like I was like, oh, you're on one. And even in the song, like I say, the way the crowd moves, they're in love. The way the crowd moves, they're in love.
Uh-huh.
And then she really was moving that way, the way I wanted her to. And like I realized that my music, it's as an artist, as a rapper, as the person behind the mic, I'm the charmer.
Mhm.
The crowd is my snake.
Mhm.
I'm controlling everybody. But as a host, it's vice versa.
Yeah, yeah.
Because the energy I have to slowly peak as a host because I can't be over the top.
Mhm.
As an artist, I have to be there all the time.
Uh-huh.
As a host, you kind of have to,
You're feeling the crowd.
yes, because it's like teeter totter. Okay, can I go? Oh no, we're not going there yet. Okay, I got more interaction this time. Okay, cool. Let's wait till the next time. How's everybody doing? Oh, we got the, need you like to act. Okay, everybody make some noise. Blah, okay, by the end of the night, everybody's like, we're all comfortable. The room's good. All right, cool. Now I could fully be me all the time. I'm ready. I'm good.
Uh-huh.
We're all on the same page. But it's interesting, man. It's
Yeah,
crazy how,
especially as an artist, you're controlling it.
yeah,
You control the energy in
it's
the
the
room.
most sacred. It's the most sacred thing, and I consider performance. I don't. I'm not a. I'm a very religion. That's a different topic. Spirituality is a different topic. But the moment I'm behind the mic as the performance, I feel like that's church to me.
Mhm.
That's the most sacred. That's performing to me is the most sacred thing I could do.
You know what's crazy is like the feeling you get,
Oh
right?
yeah,
Like I
you can't
it's
explain
it's
it.
funny, my wife and people who are close to me who've seen me perform or do anything like that,
Mhm.
they just say when you step on that stage, you turn into somebody
Yeah,
else. Like you just look like somebody else. And I don't know what they're talking
you
about. I
don't.
can't see it, but it just I don't know, it just feels like home to me.
It
Like
is.
when I step there, like as nervous as you may be, or
It's a good feeling though.
like when you put yourself out there and then once that microphone's in your hand and you're sharing with the world, it's like that experience is crazy.
It's
It's transformative. It
it
just
is. It's transcending in a sense.
yeah, it's really wild, bro. Like it I don't know, I can't explain it. It's just like I don't know, like your deepest desires, like
Mm-hmm.
anything, and you're sharing with
Yeah.
and what's crazy is like the random people that come up to you like, "Oh,
Very
that shit
random
was like
people.
so that song or
Uh
that
huh.
poem like, hey, you stood out to me. I like the way your voice is or I like this about you, that about you." And it's like total strangers.
Total strangers.
And it's like, "Damn, that's
It's
crazy."
the stranger. The more the stranger person is, like I mean, not strange, like it's strange, but the more of a stranger that person is to you, chances are he will probably support you more than your homies.
Yeah,
And I learned that
and there's nothing personal
it's
about it.
not.
It's because everyone has their own preference. Our friends may like us because we're cool
We're cool
people. We're a
people,
light in the room. We make people smile, make people laugh.
but
But
they not might like our
that
music.
yeah, they may not be into our stuff, and sometimes that's kind of hard
It is.
to accept.
I
And then the thing is, I don't want to
no
cut you
go
off,
ahead.
but the thing is like trying not to knock those walls
Oh
down
yeah,
and force it onto somebody. Like, all right, fuck it, I'm
and
gonna go do my thing over here.
and that's why I realized it's not you can't force it. Like my roommates, I remember my friend was like, "How come your roommates don't come and support you?" I was like, "Well, what do you mean?" He's like, "You live with them." I was like, "Well, my roommate gave me a desktop, like a Mac desktop.
Like supporting
So
you.
that's real support. Like
Hell yeah, that's
like
big.
real. Like I don't have to spend the money on a desktop. Like he gave me his old desktop. It's a MacBook. It works.
Uh-huh.
They're in my roommate Mark. He's literally next to my room at like 1 a.m. when I'm doing my shit,
Mhm.
and it's like, man, I feel bad for you. And everybody asks, like, Mark, did you hear that song? I was like, I was with him. And that's what he'll say. Like, I was with them. Like,
I heard him
I heard him the
creating
whole
that
time.
shit.
And that's what people got to understand. It's like for any up and coming, anybody who's trying to do something, you can't take it personally because it's your friends have their own path
Mhm.
and they have their own preferences, like you said, and you can't if you're the day your friends need to be there, they'll be there.
Yeah, not only that though, but what's a trip is like sometimes we'll consume stuff and then like not think so much of it. But then you go back to it and then you're like, oh shit, I've been sleeping on this.
Yeah.
So you may have that effect with your friends and
Yeah.
family and people like that. Like, and they'll be like, damn, I didn't realize I was like sleeping on this. Right
Yeah,
now.
and that's another thing too. But I've learned that it's okay. Like I don't got a problem with it. It's like one day I always tell my friends like one day you'll be there when the time's right. Like everybody, when I invite people, I have a struggle with this because I don't mind inviting people, but I'm the type of I get anxiety when I don't get a clarification, and it's not so much that I think it's more because like if you're gonna come, like I know people are there, so I want to give a good show. But if I know somebody that I'm gonna talk to next day is gonna be there, I want to make sure like I want you going home and telling your friends. So
Yeah.
in my head, I'm trying to like, okay, let's run through this scenario. And my friends they always say I can't make it. I'm sorry. I was like, cool. You don't apologize. I don't need the sorry, but I don't. Thank you for telling me in advance because I don't like when people are like I'm gonna be there.
And you're all like your expectations are high. You're looking like it's anxiety. It's a lot of anxiety, bro. That's why I'm like, my thing is it's funny because people like I put the flyer out to share with everyone. You know, your friends, family, homies, coworkers. Everyone's looking at these flyers.
I'm like, you see the flyer? Why was I invited? I'm like, come on, man.
I hate when they hit you with that. Like they want a personal invitation, and the thing is, I don't want to have my expectations through the roof and invite you on a personal invite, and then be like, oh yeah, I'll see what's up. Then you might be expecting someone there, and then they don't show. Then you feel like the huge letdown.
Yeah.
And then you're just like, nah, I'm cool. So I put the flyer out and just kind of mention it a couple weeks or a couple months in advance. Like, hey, just another reminder. Post it up. Constantly posting. If you show up, you show up.
Yeah.
But if I need to be like DM or call you personally, like I can't do that. I'm trying to share with everybody that I know from every area that can make it. You know, like I do want to personally invite people, but at the same time, I don't want to get let down. And us as humans, we let each other down. We let each other down a lot. So the best thing is to not have our expectations and standards so high. But I think as an artist and a person with a lot of emotions and a lot of anxiety, you can't fucking do that to us. You can't do that to us. You can't be like, oh, I'll come through or I got you or something and then just not show.
It's like this. I just was dating. Well, we were talking and it was like, let's go out. And I realized with me, it's like when I start dating somebody, if I don't get, not so much like the idea between us, it's more like if we're gonna go out, like I need a yes or no. And it's because I just get anxiety. It's like, and then I'm like, okay, what am I gonna do? Like, do I plan my day like we're going or like clarification? I think it's something as human beings we gotta understand is if someone is going out of their way to invite you, whether it's just like on a performance level or whether if it's lunch, whether it's a date, and the person that's being invited, if you can't have the like not the audacity, but if you can't respect the fact that you're being asked to do something and you can't say no or yes or no, or just say unfortunately I can't, but thank you for inviting me, then you should make that a habit because it's like it's kind of not disrespectful, but it's kind of like you put us in an awkward situation because now it's like do I keep inviting you or do I stay back?
Am I a burden for doing this? Because it's like, you know what I mean, like. That's the last thing you don't want to spam people, especially people that you would like to see. But it's like, dude, it's awkward. It's awkward.
Because I'm a very persistent person. And it's like to a point where I'm like in my head, I'm like, okay, am I being too persistent? Am I trying too hard? And then going to date, with dating is like, am I doing too much to like get you out on this date? Because I really want to get you out on this date. And then music, am I doing too much by inviting all you guys? But you guys say you want to go to my show. You say you want to date. Well, like, what's going on?
It's crazy. Yeah. It's really crazy how the mind works and how our own minds play games with us. You know, because I think sometimes you're a thinker, huh?
Oh man,
yeah. I overthink everything, bro, like ridiculously.
I remember one time, I think it was cool. I performed at a poetry spot in LA. I forgot what it was called. No, it was called Rhymecology. Shout out to John Walker. I got done and got off stage, and this guy comes up to me and is like, "That's how you are all the time." I'm like, "What do you mean?" He's like, your poetry is you all the time, like your mind. It's just like it's always 110% go. And then I'm like, yeah. And then going back to lifting, because I took about 2 years off of like strength training, like legit strength training, because my background story, my tailbone popped out literally a year ago.
Damn,
Yeah,
how'd
dude.
you do that?
So what I think it was, so at this point, a year ago, I was doing the same thing I'm doing now. I was basketball, boxing, and running track,
Mm-hmm.
but I wasn't stabilizing my core.
Mm-hmm.
And I played basketball on a Monday, no, boxing on a Monday, Tuesday basketball, and then Wednesday on the track. And my goal, it's like I'm gonna go, like I'm not gonna hold back because
Mm-hmm.
I'm gonna get hurt. And I think when on the track, um, I wasn't used to running that fast
Mm-hmm.
on a straight line, and I think I overextended,
Mm-hmm.
and I think I felt my hip pull, but I didn't feel anything on the run. I went home that night. I took a shower. I squatted down, and I felt just my hips just shift.
Oh
It was bad, bro.
shit!
I was for 4 days. I was depressed because like I was in bed, like I was just laying in bed, like
And that's not you.
oh,
That's not your
that's
norm.
not me, man. I'm
Yeah.
like I'm in bed. I can't do anything. It's like it was going on. So got it fixed, and then I had to go I had to go to the chiropractor for like 4 months straight.
Damn.
It wasn't physically taxing. It was more mentally taxing because I know what I could do mentally. I mean physically when I'm 110%, but it's just that mind knowing that.
You're an athlete, bro,
Yeah.
and you like to be busy.
Mm,
You like your body moving. You like
yes.
to be productive with
Yes.
yourself.
Very.
And when you're stuck and stagnant, you're
Man,
just like,
it's bad
heck
because
yeah.
it's depressing because I'm not happy.
Mm-hmm.
I think bodybuilding or working out is probably my first and foremost my main expression of self,
Mm-hmm.
besides the music, because I think bodybuilding and working out is a pure art form in general,
Mm-hmm.
and so that was taken away from me. So I'm like, well, I can't even express who I am as a person. I'm in bed. I couldn't move. Getting out of bed, I had to literally like roll over and tuck
Damn.
myself up, and so it's been a year since the injury, and seeing where I was mentally, where I'm at now, like it took him. It took me about a year just to be comfortable and confident enough to get back in the weight room.
Were you able to strengthen up
Oh yeah,
what you injured, and
yeah.
now you're like
Oh
good?
yeah. It's gotten to a point where it took me. I think I did 6 months after the injury. I think I took 6 months of I guess I'm not in rehab in a sense. I guess, but the workouts were more like stabilizing, slowing things down,
Mm-hmm.
like slowing things down to the detail. Like I even had my friend Trayvon help me. Like he was training me, and like the things were so slow. Like it was frustrating because it's like I know how to do this, but my body can't cooperate, and I didn't
Damn.
know how that felt because I'm always moving. I'm like. Like why right now? Why I'm supposed to be in the prime of my life. This injury happened.
Yeah, your mind's telling you one thing, and your body's
It's
doing
like
the
no.
opposite. Yeah.
And then it's cool because now where I'm at now with everything, I'm back into boxing again without any back pain. Basketball, I don't have any knee pain or I don't have any back pain, and I finally got back into strength training. There's a point where I was trying to lift because I knew I had to strengthen my body, but it was painful.
Mm-hmm.
Like I didn't even want to lift. Like I was like, I don't want to do this. Like I don't want to work out. It hurts. Then I got into where I'm at now, threshold, and I've been there for 6 months. Yeah, 6 months now, and I've been underneath the bar, like squatting again, which I haven't done. I haven't squatted in a month's time more than 2 times in over 2 years. I think this month I've squatted, I think 4, 5, 6 times with a
Mm-hmm.
good amount of weight on my back, like 330 pounds.
Damn.
Just the other day, yesterday actually, to be exact, and I feel fine.
That's
Like I feel
good.
great. Like mentally, I feel good, and I'm actually eager to work out again. Like I'm eager to hit the weights. Before,
Mm-mm.
no. Now I'm like cool. Like I'm happy. I'm eager. Like I haven't been eager to like work out and with weights in years. It's
Mm-hmm.
been basketball. Thank God for basketball and boxing, because it kept me like it was something.
Yeah, and it's cool seeing you condition like that.
Thanks,
That's
man.
dope. That shit's dope,
Uh,
man. It's motivating. Like I said, I want to get back into boxing, and then I'm watching like, damn, I need to get in
it's
there,
man
bro.
boxing. Even it. Well, side note. So George, my podcast co-host, Inner Strength Boxing. We've been friends since. Well, we've known each other for over 10 years. Friends,
Nice.
we're getting like it's to a point where like we talk on a deeper level now. We're
Mm-hmm.
outside of the podcast, in training, everything is just the conversation is great. Um, he sat me down yesterday before the session. He was like, okay, I need to know, like, is are we gonna just keep conditioning, or what's the goal with this? Do you want to step in the ring? I'm like, yeah, I would like to,
Oh,
and
that'll
that's
be
and
dope, bro.
I'm like in my head, I'm just like I don't train for nothing. Like I don't. I don't want to just be known as a guy who just put on the boxing gloves and just hit the pads. Like, no, like I want to know how it feels to, like, even if it's like a spar, like even if it's not a full go, even if it's a spar, like I still want to say that I did that, because I think being able to fight, it's something else, because it's knowing that you could get your I could break
Hell
you get your
yeah.
ass kicked, I could break my jaw, I could break something, like this could really
Mess you
mess
up.
me up, but at the same time, playing basketball could mess me up. Anything could mess me up. So I can't.
Any contact
Yeah, any
sport.
contact sport like basketball. I remember George's like, well, I'll get grazed in the face and I'll leave with a bruise. He's like, dude, my bad. I mean, he's just like, bro, I've had to go to the hospital, get stitches for basketball. I've almost got my nose broken because of an elbow. Like, I don't mind getting hit in the face, but getting a punch, that's a different story.
Yeah,
And
that'll just piss you
that's
off.
gonna, yeah,
That's gonna piss you off, and you're gonna want to hit the next person.
and that's
back.
kind of why I want to do it, because like there's been times like I've seen my aggressive nature on I've seen it in basketball when I get hit, because I'm a big body.
Yeah.
People don't understand, like, I'm fast, and I was 193 when I used to play consistent. Right now I was 197. Now I'm getting back to 195 because I've been playing more basketball, so I've been conditioning again, so I'm losing that extra fat. And other day I played, like, I'm getting back to being that dominant big body. And I remember one time this guy ran into me, and I didn't intentionally throw my shoulder into him, but his positioning, and to protect myself, I kind of stayed low and I exploded through him, and he started running his mouth. I'm like, you stood in front of me, bro. Like, I'm a big body and I'm fast. Like, I'm not gonna let you take me down. And then he started being more intentional with his fouling.
Oh, okay.
And then I was like, cool. And then it got to a point where I grabbed the rebound and I knew he was behind me, and he kept reaching, and I purposely went above him and I missed him on purpose. He said, were you going to do it on purpose? I was like, if you keep coming close to me like that, you're probably going to get elbowed to the face. I'm just letting you know. If you want to keep playing like that, I'll play like that. And there's been times where, like, the OGs, they'll test me, and I'm like, yo, like, you're an OG. Don't let me go that route with you.
Yeah.
And there's been times where, like, he was like, you need to stop. I'm like, bro, like, you're my elder. I'm giving you're supposed to, but if you want to go that route, we can do that
like,
route.
I'm trying to play cool.
I'm trying to play
you're
cool.
like going super aggressive right now.
And I get it. You're a male. We're men. We want to display our dominance. Like, we want to, but that's why for me, it's like, I know what I could do. I'm not
You're
gonna.
like-
I'm just gonna. I'm gonna adapt to you guys, because if we play at my pace and my game speed, no, you guys wouldn't like me, because I'm too fast. I'm too strong. I'm too tall. I could dribble. I could shoot. And I'm not just this big body who gets rebounds now. Like, no, I have a spin move, I have a crossover, I have a step back now, and I have a three ball. So now it's like, if we really want to play basketball, we could play basketball now. It's fun though, man. And that's why with basketball.
So he ended up leaving you alone.
Oh yeah, he dads me up.
Oh,
now he's my homie. Now he's cool with me, and I'm like, don't do that to me.
They see a whole other side of people, and then they're like, oh, let me take it back.
Exactly. And then with boxing too, like, I even told George, like, I feel like as a boxer, because of my basketball nature and how I play, I feel like I'd be more defensive. He said, well, you say that now, but just wait till it happens. You might just be you don't know.
You might be the aggressor.
You might be the aggressor.
Just moving forward.
Yeah.
Moving forward.
And I'm learning that with I'm learning how to use my reach now. I'm learning how to use my body more, and I'm like, I might be that aggressive because I know I could come over the top.
Yeah, what's crazy is that jab's your rangefinder. Then you're gonna go to crosser over the top, bro.
I'm learning that. I'm learning how to set it up with the jab now, and I'm learning how to come across. And I have David for Untapped Hip Hop. We do kickboxing too.
Oh,
so we're doing
nice.
Muay Thai.
So Muay Thai, yeah,
now I'm
that's
learning
what's
how
up.
to now I'm learning how to kick more. Now I'm learning how to pivot. Now I'm learning how to knees. I'm just like, oh man, I'm a lethal weapon soon.
Yeah, you can fuck someone up,
Shoot,
bro.
man. That's why I feel like everybody should learn how to fight, because if everybody knew how to kill somebody with their bare hands, no one would fuck with nobody.
Because everybody will know they're not to be tested.
Yeah, and I think fighting is what I love about fighting. Not so much the fighting itself, it's knowing what you don't know. And once you know what you don't know, you respect everybody else. Because if I square up with somebody, and what if it goes to the ground? I don't know how to protect. I know how to protect myself on the ground, but other than that, like, I don't know how to combat that.
Yeah.
He might know how to. He might
put you in an arm bar, triangle, break
or some
your
shit.
damn
I'm just
arm,
like,
something.
What's going on? But then again, like, the actual people at that level, where they're taught not to fight. You're not meant to, like, in certain degrees, certain Muay Thai, certain fighters, they're illegal, they're legit a weapon, and they can't
Yeah,
you can't touch anybody. You can't.
Exactly. Yeah,
and that's why people, when they fight, it's like, you can't. People will. That's why I think fighters are the most, samurais for me are the most. I look up to that idea because they're so calm.
Discipline.
They're calm. They're always ready for war, but they rather prefer the peace because they're war ready, but they're peaceful warriors. And that's
Yeah,
how I
it's
like.
like they're ready to die
Oh
at
yeah,
any
they're
given moment, but
shit.
they'd rather follow a peaceful route than
Mm-hmm.
anything.
Oh yeah.
Like it's peace first,
Mm-hmm.
but it's like if you don't want to go that
Shit,
route,
we'll
we could
go that
die.
route.
Yeah. Yeah, that shit's crazy, man.
No, and that's what I think. And yeah. So that's one of the goals for next year. It's to get in the ring with that, and then another goal is to get in a powerlifting competition.
That'll be dope.
Yeah,
Man.
I think I'm 20, 28, turning 28. I'm at a point with business. I'm at a point with music where I know what I could do with it, and I know how to get to that point, and I know how to, and I've been productive with it lately, like recording myself more, messing with Logic, trying to just mess with my beat pad, even if it's not just getting in that melody, just trying to figure out the BPMs, different sounds. I think one thing I've learned about myself, the more I dabble with production, the more I become a better rapper because now I'm finding different pockets.
Sequences
Yes.
and how to quantize your bars and shit.
Yeah.
Like, it's dope how it kind of all just
Comes together.
and you learn from different things, just doing different stuff. And it's kind of cool, like how you just dabbled in from, you started off just doing the whole conditioning, training, fitness, and then you got some experience going into the poetry world. And then from there, you tapped into hip hop, and now you're just like doing music and doing a little bit of everything. And it's good because the way your mind's functioning, your body is at full potential, and you can still increase it more. But the way your mind is, like, you're clean. Everything's clean. You're constantly putting new ideas and stuff in your mind, and it's like a machine. You're just like consuming everything.
It's beautiful.
Retaining information and just applying it now.
It's cool because it's my friend Colleen from Future Soul. I love talking business. Not so much just because not even so much for like the finances that come with business. Not so much of that. I just like when people come to me and ask questions about how would I do things. How would I go about this? They have this idea. How would you do this? And it's refreshing because it's like, cool, you trust me enough with your idea that something that I'm doing intrigues you enough to let me broaden up that idea and that concept. So I'm like, cool, because what Future Soul, they're up and coming collective. They want to become a collective. So Colleen and Marissa, two hardworking, beautiful women, we met and I host their event, which is cool because I was co-hosting the open mics in Pomona with Irene, and that's how we were on the her and I came to be very close. We were on the radio, out in LA for poetry. What was it? I don't even know. I forgot. That's not a good thing. I should probably know what radio station it was. We did that, and she ended up hitting me up. She's like, "Hey, I'm hosting, but I need a co-host," and I was like, "Cool, I'll run it with you." And it was more of just everybody not disrespecting her, but she's a very soft-spoken woman. And I'm like, yo, like, what do you? Now that I'm coaching people, I've been doing this training people for years, but now that I'm coaching, it's different because personal training, it's a different demeanor. Coaching, like there comes more aggressiveness with it. There is more yelling in a sense. And I remember I was performing once. My thing is this: if respect the 5-minute rule. Like if you go over like a cool 30 seconds, it's cool. But if it gets to a point where everybody starts doing it, I'm going to be pissed off. Because now not so much that you're disrespecting the house rules. It's like, I want to go home. I got to wake up early tomorrow. I got to wait for you. And we only got 5 minutes.
If people want to just like, everyone thinks it's a me.
Yeah.
It's all about me. Like, no, follow the rules.
Follow the rules, man.
Make your shit short, sweet, and make sure you're going to hit them with the impact.
Get it go. If you don't want, and that's why I remember DPL, the rule is you have 3 minutes.
They'll play the music and cut you off. Yeah, man. They'll play the record and be like, okay, they'll just turn up the volume louder and louder. You don't get off the stage. Get off.
And I remember that I remember a lot of people thought I was too strict with the rule. I'm like, go to the big. No, yes,
they will not fucking.
They won't
play
with
that.
You. No, and that's what I tell people. I'm like, I remember when I first started throwing poetry events, I would give people 20-minute set times, and they're like, "What am I supposed to do with 20 minutes?" I'm like, I'm gonna look at them like, "Look, you have 20 minutes. Figure something out. You want to do this? This is 20 minutes is not a lot of time. It's not. It's not like it's not a lot of time. Like it's 20 minutes, not a lot of set time. Like if you want to be that artist, like think about with these. I mean, mainstream artists. Like even like your own poetry set. Like you probably would want 40. If you're in a large crowd of like 300, 400 people, they want a 20. That's 20 minutes, and you're the headline. No, like you need at least 45 to an hour worth of material. And they're like, "What do you mean?" I'm like, I see long term.
Yeah.
You want to be this poet? Here's 20 minutes. Here's 40 people. Can you keep them there for 20 minutes? If not, figure something out. You need to develop that. And that's always been my mentality. Like I love when I rehearse with my friend, we'll do 2-hour rehearsals, running back, a full 30 to 45 minute set, nonstop. I don't talk. I'll just go. And then now it's to a point where it's like I don't need to train for me. I want to train my vocal range for that because I want to do the big shows. I want to perform at Coachella. I want to go tour across the globe. I want to do all of that. Oh man, I'm looking forward to the day when I'm able to tour the world as an artist, but still like do my strength and conditioning stuff.
Yeah,
and like go work out at a gym.
And it's possible.
Yeah,
bro.
it is because I remember when I used to hate knowing that. Not hate. It's like it comes to a point where I had to accept the fact that like, damn, like either way, if one fails, one has to succeed. But I could still consider that if music failed, I have my business. But that doesn't mean I have to stop being an artist. I can still do it.
You have to love what you do, and that's it's funny. Shout out to Curtis King. I was watching something that he was talking about on the Producer Grind podcast.
He's doing a lot.
Yeah, he was and he was talking about that. Like it's okay to have a luxurious hobby.
Yeah.
There's people that spend thousands of dollars on golfing stuff. There's people that and they're not pros or anything, but they love to golf. There's people that spend thousands of dollars on entertainment stuff or $1,000 on music equipment or stereos and all kinds of stuff. But it's like as long as you love what you do and you don't forget about it. Yeah. There was a time, honestly, like when I was working in radio, trying to follow my music career and do all these things, I was too caught up in what he was saying and that I could relate to it.
Yeah.
I was caught up on the marketing shit.
Yeah.
Like, how do I market this? How do I market myself? How do I try to get people's attention and stuff like that? And I started forgetting about like what got me in this in the beginning. Like, it was just like, I was just a kid that fell in love with boom bap when I discovered it. Then I was just like little by little piecing together poems, turning them into songs, and then songs turn into songs with hooks, and then I started performing, and and it was fun to me. It was amazing. And then obviously I was doing it at the time where we didn't really have worries. I was young. I was a kid, and
then you get older,
I
didn't
like,
have I got
priorities, responsibilities, and all that. And it was genuinely fun. Like it was a spark, a light in my life, and everything about it was amazing. Everything was a new experience. And then I got too caught up in like I was working 2-3 jobs at the time, and then I was still grinding with radio and still trying to make sure I was giving it 110% there, 110% on my job, and still trying to be an artist and my promoter, manager, business, all that. Like, it's a lot. People think they just see you like, oh, up and coming, and they think, oh, like, I don't know what people's perception is, but I want to know. But honestly, it's like, it's a lot.
It is.
And I was like overwhelming myself, like overdoing it, overabundance, bro. Like, I was stressing myself the fuck out to the point where I'm like, I may leave this shit. Like, and it's bad. Like, the thing that you love the most, you're getting ready to just walk away from it.
I remember I'm posting a song on Thursday, which is, I'll put the date. Tomorrow's the 19th, so on Thursday the 19th of December. So I'm assuming by the time this drops, it'll already be out. I have a song called "Let's Ride," and I gonna post a full video tomorrow of like the rehearsal of it all. Like I was just like, let's just try it, and it came out great. And I posted 3 things: Monday, Tuesday, and today, which is Wednesday. And everybody was like, "How come you don't use hashtags?" I'm like, I don't want random people liking it. Like, I'm not doing it for the likes. Like, I have genuinely, there's high school kids that I've met and spoken to that still like will message me like, "How are you? What you been up to? I see what you're doing. It's motivating." I'm like, "Oh crap! So you're listening, you're watching. Okay, so let me tap into what you're watching." And then all of a sudden, I told her, like, look, I hit up for marketing, do this. Simple shit. I hit up 20 people. I sent them the video. I said, look, I'm going to drop this on Thursday. I'm gonna send this video on Monday, this video on Tuesday, this video on Wednesday. There's not gonna be any music until Thursday comes because I want to build up the anticipation. And it worked. Like people are like, "Where's the music at? How come there's no sound?" I'm like, I'm teasing you. And the few people are like, "Why are you teasing us?" I was like, "So now I know now I know I have your eyes, I have your ears. So now Thursday comes, 10 a.m. You know this is gonna be on the phone on IGTV."
Yeah.
And it's cool because I think out of the 20 people I said straight up, I said, "Look, I'm not expecting you to post it. I'm not. Like I don't. But if I sent this to you because you show enough curiosity and support that you may be willing to play it." And then one of my friends, she was like, "How come you don't like want us to hashtag?" I was like, "Because like if you think about it, if 20 of us do this, let's just say only 10 of us do it. I have a quote unquote 1,000 so many followers. You may have 800. This person might have 2,000. This person might have this. This person might have that. Now, if traction wise, do all these people are going to see it? No, but that's more than enough.
One person shares it, another one person could share it, and it's like, dude, like
it's big.
If people really just was like on some shit, like let's share this, let's
share this.
Bro, it could spread like wildfire.
Because now
like, it's crazy.
If more I see it, then they're gonna be curious whether
like,
they
who
click.
Is that? What is that?
Whether they click on it or not, they see my name, they see my face. Now I'm known as, oh, you're that guy that my friend posted. What was that about? Oh, here, I'll send you the information. This is the actual song that comes out, and they're like, oh, I didn't know that. And then it works because you mentioned marketing. I tell people I don't market anything. I don't use social media to market. I just use it to tell a story. And I think it's better because now there's a genuine connection. Like you like what I post because you don't feel obligated to do anything with it outside of observe. You don't feel tempted to buy something. I'm not making you want to buy something. Your cousin was like, "What do you do? You're a personal trainer. What if we went to you?" And it's like, I don't market that. It's because it's just I like to show off what my kids do.
The information's there.
Yes.
And the visuals are there, and it's up to you to tap in.
Yeah.
But you could scroll and be like, "Oh shit!" And then you want to go.
Then you want to go
I
because
mean?
now you see you see my genuine. Not even so much my quote unquote character. You see my genuine. You my essence.
Everything's on display.
Yes,
for
everything.
people to see. You don't have no.
There's no smoking mirrors.
False. Yeah, exactly.
No, there's nothing. There's my music. Even that it is that my music is a legit. I feel like my music is a legit reflection of everything
of who
I go
you
through.
are.
Yes,
Yeah.
The emotions, the anxiety, the depression, the love, the hopeless romantic, the intimacy I crave. Not some of the struggles of what I go through on a daily basis, but I've noticed that my music is transitioning into a better, brighter space. I've noticed that a lot of my music when I started, not that it was not dark in a negative way. The bio I sent you, I think, is a perfect example. I like to think of me as neutral. Like they were going over Star Wars and like the lightsabers. I would be, and what's his name? I'd have the purple lightsaber, Mace Windu. Is that his name? I would have that. Apparently, that purple lightsaber. According to Mace Windu, actually Samuel L. Jackson wanted that color for himself and nobody else to have, and he got it. Was because that is a neutral space that you are acknowledging both
sides.
Both sides. That makes you more powerful because you could tap into that dark side of the Force and also the light side of the Force. That's what made him so much of a badass because he was able to talk to like the other side of the dark side of the Force without any negative from the power side. But he was liberated in my sense. That's liberation because you know you're light, but you know you're dark. But
you know the reality of it. It's like there's not one person too good and not one person too evil.
Exactly.
When you know how to balance it, because everyone has it in them, but if you could balance and tap into that, both
it's powerful.
Of those,
Because I tell people like 9 out of 10 times you're gonna see me on a smile. You will genuinely. I'm happy. You even mentioned that you saw me. I was smiling when you were saying that. 9 out of 10 times you'll see it. But there's days where like in my close friends know like. They know there's days where I'm like, I just don't want to talk to nobody.
Trust me, I got.
And it's no disrespect to you. You're my friend. Like I confide in you enough to tell you that I don't want to talk to you. Not talk to you. Not you.
I just don't want to people.
I just don't want to. I don't want to. I'm around. I tell everybody this. Like you got to think about it. From the time I wake up, from the time I go to bed, I'm always thinking about what I have to do. And if there's moments like I watch the man, I don't like watching too much TV, but there's times where like I just don't want to be that. I don't want to be that productive person today. So I'm gonna sit down and watch TV. Well, now I don't watch anything. Like I'm not gonna watch Keeping Up with the Kardashians. I'm not gonna watch Smurry. I'm not gonna watch that type of stuff. I don't want to watch the news. I do not want to watch that. I censor what I watch. Like I'll watch The Mandalorian. I've been watching that right now. A lot of that. I watch a lot of anime, but for me, it's like at the same time that's kind of inspiration. That's stuff that I could write about. Like I'm gonna go. Okay, I saw this on Dragon Ball Z. I saw this on The Mandalorian. I saw this on One Punch Man, whatever it's called. I'm cool. Like I'm gonna take that. Like I'm gonna write a bar about this. I'm gonna write a bar about that. But no, man, I think it's good time. I think, like I said today, like Wednesdays are turning into like my de-stress days,
and that's good. You need that. And you know what's crazy is I used to like I said, I was overwhelming myself, where I almost went off the edge, bro.
Damn.
Because it's like I was trying to like work my full time, do this, do that, participate in all these things. Honestly, for a long time, and it took me to start becoming a man.
Yeah.
That I was a yes man to everything.
You have to say and
man, I had a problem of doing that because I just wanted to win, to be successful, to be where everyone knew who I was. Not necessarily like I was gonna blow up and be this famous, but I wanted to be the one where like that motherfucker is reliable and he's on time and he's always doing it. But sometimes you can overextend yourself.
And then you can't become that person.
And it's like, nah, I can't do that no more.
There's
I got better at
no.
saying no, and I got better at like charging for stuff. It's like. Because at some point, it's like, bro, like, they're only going to take you as serious as you're going to take yourself. So then if they come at you sideways, they're like, damn, what? You're going to charge me? Like, no, but like, bro,
that's you.
I've been doing this shit for, I don't even need to say how long I've been doing it. You know I've been doing this for so long that it's like, if you want my time, please invest in me, or, go to the next person.
And that's what, I think that was my biggest flaw with when I started my business, was because I'm like, I'm really about to make a living off people's mistakes. And that kind of didn't sit well with me. Like I struggled with that. Like I was like, this person's paying me X amount of dollars a month to keep them accountable. Why do I not feel comfortable with that? Why is it bothering me so much? And my friend was like, you got to realize this. Like you put in the hours for this, dog. Like you put in the work.
You worked your whole life for this. And not only that though, but you have to support yourself.
I do.
And your knowledge and you training people, because not only like I said, like we were talking earlier, not only are you training people, you're motivating them, you're inspiring them, you're listening to their story, you're listening to their problems. Like you're like a therapist, you're like a friend, a family member, and like you said, it's accountability.
Man, accountability.
You're gonna be paying this bill, and once you pay this bill monthly or weekly, however it is, you're accountable for what your money, where your budget's going. So if you're wasting your money and you're not applying yourself, then you're losing out.
Exactly.
But nobody in this world's gonna ever work for free. No. Nothing. It's sad, but the world revolves around a profit and money and an income, and we need that to survive. So
exactly.
It was so hard for me, but like what helped me honestly was like my wife pushed me, and then like the people around me, and it's like I've been doing this long enough, so it's like I actually got into ghostwriting. Oh, so shit. I write for artists now.
That's something I want to. I told myself 2020 that's something I want to start doing.
And it's cool because it's like it's not like crazy. I don't charge crazy numbers, but it's like I can't just give it away. Like we have to work something out. You know what I mean? Like, and then too for like anything that's needed, like it's anything that I'm experienced with. It's like I started realizing like I don't just go and do anything for anybody.
No,
you know what I mean?
Man.
I'm the type of person like if I could, I would help everyone in the world.
But
I'm helpful, always have my arms open, and always kind-hearted and humble. But I cannot help everybody. My time is limited, and I try to do the best I can with my time and be able to provide as much information. And I don't mind sharing information.
Oh, no.
I don't ever hold back information from people. But if they want my time, it's like, dude, like. We got to be serious, and we got to make something. It's got to make sense here. Like, and that's like my biggest thing. And it was hard for me to do that. But like I said, as a man now, I'm able to put my foot down. Like I had to learn. Like I was just wondering, like, man, is this going to pan out? Is this going to work? But now it's like, I'm at a point now where it's like, I have no time to waste. And we're getting older, and it's like time to start taking your craft or what it is that you do that you're investing all your time into. it needs to have a ROI, like a return
Yes,
on
man.
investment, big time.
Big
Like,
time.
and if you're not investing in me, then what can I do for you then?
Nothing.
Like, you know what I mean? Like, and I understand where you're coming from too, because the type of person you are, like I said, you're a light. You like to help people
Yeah.
and encourage them and make them fill up to their full
Yep.
potential and become that.
Yeah.
But at the same time too, you have to make a
I
living.
gotta get my bread.
So if you can do that and make a living,
Whew.
that's the best of both worlds.
It is, and I think I'm at a point where I'm at peace with it now. Especially, I don't know. I think my friend Micah, she told me this when I turned. I think I was 25, and so this is about 3 years ago, and she said the next 3 years for you are gonna be hard because you're gonna go through a lot. Just who you are, you this person that you are, this energy that you are, the way you work, the way you rap, the way you do poetry, the way you do your business. You're gonna go through a lot, and I did like the 20 to man, like it was 25 to now. I feel like I always knew what I wanted,
Mm-hmm.
and now I'm like I always knew how. I didn't know how to get there. I didn't know when I was gonna get there, and I feel like I'm barely like the mountain top wherever that's at. Like however the how that goes, I feel like I barely got to the trail of that mountain top.
Yeah,
Right?
yeah,
Yeah. Like
exactly.
I see I kind of see it, but now I'm like, oh, so this is the actual trail. I don't know where the trail is going, but this is the start of it now. That back then was like the drive to the trail.
Yeah,
Now
yeah.
it's like at the age of there's more clarity. And like
Mm-hmm.
going back to the power of no, like there's a lot of power in saying no. And I feel as we get older, especially amongst my peers, I feel like the idea of saying sorry, I not that we need to stop. I think we need to really evaluate why we say sorry and how often we
Mm-hmm.
say sorry. Because if my friend, she made she said she posted on Instagram a few phrases that we should leave in 2019, and it's simple like stuff like I don't like when people say I can't around me. Don't say I'm broke around me. Don't say and don't doubt yourself, and don't like those are like the three things that I'm big on, because then that's gonna roll over to my life, and I can't I'm gonna say right now I can't afford that.
Yeah.
I can't afford you to say
Yeah.
that. And I told her
Yeah.
like saying the idea of saying I'm sorry and overly apologizing, because I feel like at certain points is it a habit?
It's like self guilt. Like
Yeah.
we're like you said though, like everything you say and do, it's like you're putting it into existence.
Yes.
And I feel like sometimes because of trauma from our past,
Whew,
our issues, our insecurities
man,
and doubts and stuff like that, it puts on that stress of over apologizing or over or feeling
of guilt.
a guilty conscience, guilty feelings or something where you just always apologize or always put yourself down.
When now with trauma, my I'm older now, so like I've had those conversations with myself of trauma. It's my point right now in life where it's like at what point, not do we blame the trauma, because of the trauma has a lot to do with who we are,
Mm.
but when does us as human beings, I think I want to ask, I want to say this because I feel like I'm there now. When do we accept the trauma as as our story, not us
Yeah.
us being part of the trauma story?
Exactly.
There's a
And
difference.
learning to accept it
Yes,
and realize that does not have to hold you
it
where
does
you're
not.
at.
It does
And it
not.
doesn't have to pretty much predict where you're going to
No.
be or where you're going to head. That's something that's going to always be
Oh yeah, it's gonna
embedded
be
in
there.
you and
It's gonna be
instilled,
there.
and it's part of your
It's your
DNA.
DNA.
Exactly.
It is who you are.
But it's up to you to accept it and be like, am I going to keep being like the cycle of everyone else that's
Mm,
been doing this? Or am I going to move forward and actually change this and accept it? Whether it's like, I've even been open and told people, like, I'm thinking about taking up therapy.
mm.
I'm thinking about,
It's
like I said,
real.
like I've been telling you how I want to get
Yes,
back
you've been
into the
telling me. You've
gym.
been
And like,
telling me.
I got back in the gym, but I want to do more. I want to
Mm,
get myself to my full potential,
I feel that.
mind, body, and soul.
It,
Because
it,
I feel like when I get my body
yep.
right, everything
It
else is
has to.
my confidence, everything's gonna be there,
It
and I can
aligns.
and you feel better, you
Yeah.
look better, and I feel like that's where it starts at. Your
Um.
mind and your body is
Yes.
so important.
I mean, this flesh is a vessel,
Mhm.
and if it's not optimal, like your car, like you're gonna go get that shit checked out. How much money you spend for oil change? How much time do we put in the car? Why can't we take the energy put in our bodies? Like this is
Exactly.
our vessel. Like if going back to you said, if you know your body is moving,
Mhm.
you're gonna be constantly moving. A body in motion stays in motion. A body at rest stays at rest.
Exactly.
And I think go with the trauma thing. Oh yeah. I think that's something that we need to really understand is 2020, because not just even 2020, just an everyday thing. It's not, you are not I'm not a victim of my trauma.
in your past or
I'm not.
anything. Yeah, you're not.
Because I've been going back to therapy. Like there's a point where I don't there's points where lust plays out in my life. I think we could put
Yeah,
we
yeah,
all
yeah.
like I'll admit it, like we all go through lust. Even like I always tell my friends, like last night one of my athletes, she asked me, it's like, hypothetically speaking, if I had a crush on multiple people, how would I pursue a relationship with them? I said, well, where's your effort going towards? Like, who are you willing to give more of that effort towards? Maybe you should put it that way. But now be vocal about stuff like that, because you don't want to put yourself in a vulnerable position or somewhere you could go wrong.
You know what's crazy is like it's hard, but being honest
Oh
with
man.
yourself, being
Whew.
honest with
That's
yourself
hard.
first though, and realizing it. Like I have this conversation with a lot of people. Is like once you may be doing wrong, right?
Mm.
And then a lot of people try to blanket it, cover it up. Like,
You
hey, it happens, bro. If
no.
this happens, our girls or guys talking, it happens. It's all right.
It's gonna keep
it's gonna
happening.
happen. No, the thing is if you're doing wrong or you have negative thoughts or you feel like doing wrong, you got to catch yourself. And
Yes.
even if you're doing wrong or done wrong, realize that and don't try to make an excuse for it.
No.
Like, be
Admit it.
honest with yourself.
Admit it, and
And
don't
then
blame
that's
nobody
the
else.
more, yeah, the more you try to
Man.
like come to grips with it and be
Yeah.
honest and open
It
about it, the
gets
more
easier.
it helps you like
It's
realize
therapy.
like you know what I mean? And it's
Yeah.
like you're helping yourself out
Oh
by doing
yeah.
that.
You
And
are.
and it's really crazy that we tend to just I don't know, we're genetically just flawed.
Oh,
Like we're
we
flawed
are.
from the start, bro. Like we
We're
all
born
make
sinners.
mistakes,
We're
you
born
know?
sinners.
That
And
shit's crazy that you brought that up. It's funny because every time there's a wrongdoing,
mhm.
male or female or by anything, there's also people in our corner or people close to us or people that may know us that try to comfort you by making an excuse
It's like
for
justifying it.
yeah, like trying to justify everything and you cannot.
You
Like
can't.
there's no
No.
excuse for our
Nope.
actions
Mm-mm.
like you said like saying I can't. Like I should be working out.
Yeah.
There's no excuse why I'm not. There's no excuse why I'm not producing the music I want to produce
There
or
is no excuse.
doing everything I want to do. There's no excuse.
Hmm.
We have work, we have all these things piling up and all that, but that's up to us
Yes.
ourselves to knock these things out one at a time.
Exactly.
And the more you put it off, that's the more excuses you try to make.
Oh man.
You know what I
Yep.
mean? And it's funny because some of these excuses are real life problems.
They are.
And like, oh, well, I was gonna go to the gym, but like my
My
car
car.
and like I didn't have gas, or like we always try to make excuses where everyone's like, oh no, it's cool. I went through the same shit the other day. Don't worry about it.
Mm-mm.
You know, like
And my response would have been, why didn't you just work out in your house?
exactly.
Yeah.
Yeah, there's like so many things. Like
Yeah.
honestly, like that's what I'm saying. Like having accountability for yourself is important, and
Yeah.
like so many people don't have that,
They
bro.
don't.
So many people
It's
literally.
uncomfortable.
It really
Yeah,
is.
it's uncomfortable, especially when your peers, like so I have peers, I have people younger than me telling me things. I'm like, oh shoot, I was supposed to tell you certain things. You're over here 23 telling me something. I'm like, you know what? You know something I don't know, and I'm gonna listen to you.
And it's crazy because we could learn a lot,
A
from
lot.
just listening to people and people younger than us.
My
or way
kids
older
teach
than
me
us.
everything. I tell everybody, I've only been the best teacher lately because my kids are teaching me so much more.
Damn, that's crazy.
Yeah, man. Like you learn so much from kids. Just observing them, how they run, how they talk. I feel like kids, we underplay their knowledge of awareness. I feel like because they're a blank statement. They're blank. They don't know anything. And then we give them the tools, whether those are good tools or bad tools, and it's like an experiment, right?
Yeah,
It's like
yeah.
I don't know what I'm supposed to do with you, but I'm gonna try this, and let's hope it works. Like my roommate's daughter, like Leah, she's 2, and she's a sponge. Like it's gotten to a
Oh
yeah,
yeah, they
man.
soak
They
up
soak everything,
everything.
and it's cool because like we, I told my mom this, and I meant it from a respectful, very not negative space. I said, Mom, when I have kids, I really don't want you talking to them like they're babies. I want
You
them,
know, it's a trip. My wife says the same thing.
yeah,
And
talk to my kid like a grown ass person, because then it's gonna
development.
development. I don't want to have. I'm my biggest no, not biggest fear. My concern with my kids when I have kids, I don't have any yet. I want them to be, whether this is my selfishness for them, but I want my kids to be very well aware of themselves before they even know they're aware of themselves. Like
Yeah.
that'd be beautiful, man.
Knowledge of
Knowledge of
self,
self,
super
man.
young.
I
That
want
shit we never
we
had.
never had. I want my kids to be zenned out. I want my kids to be the chaos in the storm. I
Mhm.
want them to just be aware of the chaotic world that they're around, but I want them to be the calm storm. I want them to be okay with the madness, because there is madness in this world. Like we went through so much turmoil as kids. Like, why didn't our parent, my mom, like I had to come with agreements with my mom that my mom's the trauma I hold with my mom. I've had to accept it and understand and forgive her without her even apologizing for it,
Mm.
because she didn't know any better. That the reason why my mom and I don't get along for a few reasons. How she views me,
Mhm.
because I'm named after my dad, and my
Mhm.
parents divorced when I was 5.
Mhm.
And I look up to my grandpa a lot, a man that she really doesn't like as she got older, because my grandparents divorced as well. So I'm coming from a lot of trauma,
Yeah,
a
yeah,
lot of
yeah,
broken
yeah,
households,
yeah.
man,
Yeah, yeah, I
a
could
lot,
relate.
right? A lot of Latinos, I think, are
Yeah.
a lot of people these days, man, broken households, and I had to stop myself from saying anything negative about my mom, because there was a lot of negativity with her. Like, the way I viewed her was a lot of negative, but then it was also how I viewed myself, because she raised me that way. It was a lot of I wasn't it was a lot of like negative words, like I'm stupid, I'm a piece of shit, I'm that, I'm no good, I'm this, I'm that.
Yeah,
And then
it's
yeah,
really the power of words
bro, it's
are
powerful.
fucking
And
dangerous.
that's why, like, I around my kids, I'm very mindful of the words I use to describe certain things, certain emotions. And even my one of my past relationships, like, I told her straight up, like, I don't like it when you call me stupid, because my mom called me stupid growing up. And she looked at me and she was like, I don't mean it that way. It's like,
I don't
I
care.
don't
Like
care.
that, and you got to
You gotta
respect
respect
that.
that.
Yeah,
Like,
yeah, yeah,
you don't
yeah.
want me doing certain things out of respect for you, and I'm okay. I'm not complaining. Like, I get it. Like, I understand. Like, you're a human being. You have emotions. You have feelings. I'm just because I'm a man doesn't mean I can't take those words and, like, they're gonna hurt me.
And you know what's a trip is I don't know what it is about culture itself, like the Hispanic and
Machismo and all that
and
shit.
uh and just African American culture
Yeah.
and all the cultures that have to kind of harden within to be
Yes.
strong citizens in this fucking cruel place.
It's a cruelest place right now, bro.
But
We need more people
it's
being okay vulnerable.
yeah, not only that though, but it's crazy how much like the shit talking and the kind of like breaking you down in a sense to build you up. That's their mentality. Like
Yes.
we got to talk shit to one another to strengthen us, so we have thick skin, tough skin. But at the same time, you're like breaking people down. Like some people can't. We grew up being around it, so we're like
Yes. It's
it's
nothing.
numb to us, but. It really gets to
It
people,
does.
and those words or certain events stick with those people for the rest of their life, and it
Mm-hmm.
can really make and break who they become as
Because it's embedded
adults.
in their subconscious. Now they people don't know, but they're being triggered on a daily basis, and they're trying to figure out, why am I feeling this way? It's like, because there's something that you need to visit yourself.
Heck
There's
yeah.
something
And it's like trying to like you said, like just de-stress and try not to like let everything
yeah.
get to you cuz
Because
stress could kill you, man.
stress, man. I'm, like I said earlier, before we started, I'm at a point where the idea of stress and the idea of fear are not in my mind anymore,
Mhm.
because those are two toxic things. The stress, because stress does play out and it messes up literally your whole being, your whole essence of being. And fear itself, that's bad.
Mhm.
Like, fear of anything, and I think I've come to a point where I understand my deepest, darkest fears will come out and play out in my life.
Mhm.
So the more I speak about of this fear, of that fear, it's going to come into existence. So the less I speak of that, or the less I acknowledge that I have fears, the more I feel like the more productivity I'm going, because I'm not the idea of wanderlust.
Mhm.
I've told my friends, well, why can't we call it to wonder in love?
Mhm.
Where we're still wanderers, but we're not in the idea of lust. We're in the idea of love. So
Yeah.
wherever we wander is the proper direction, because we're following our passions versus
Mhm.
lust, wandering in lust. That's like,
Like you're wondering what if
yeah,
and
what
if it
if?
ever will or what
Yes,
instead of just going faith like walking by faith and not by sight. You know what
exactly.
I mean? And just trusting yourself and
Mm,
trusting your instincts and
exactly.
making a way. Like, you know what I mean? And I feel like that's a lot of stuff that we all should work on. And I
Ex-
think it'll work.
It
It'll
does
it'll work, bro.
in
And
time.
that's dope how you say that. How
Yeah.
you said that. That's dope.
One of my first songs I ever wrote was off a Ninth Wonder beat I found on YouTube. It's on a project I have on SoundCloud. It's called Las Flores. It's literally 4 or 5 tracks of my favorite instrumentals and just taking them and just rapping over it, like a Lil Wayne type of vibe. Like it's like the mixtape things.
That's dope.
And it was cool, man. It was fun. And then I threw that in there in between the first verse and the second verse. I didn't know how to write hooks. I never wanted to. Like I just wanted to let's just free write. Let's just do this. But then I realized the more I performed, I was like, okay, I need the hook.
It's something to catch people.
Yeah, something to catch people. Something cook them, which makes sense. And I say about that, I said, those who tend to wonder in love are truly never lost. We've only been taught to wonder in lust. That's why those are truly lost. Yeah, because it's like you're lost.
That's crazy.
Yeah, it's simple. It's like a simple change of words.
It's crazy, though. It really is. It's deep.
It is.
That's a trip, man. Is there anybody you'd like to shout out? Or
oh man, my mom,
mention?
dad, my brother, my sister, my whole family. Obviously, you for letting me do this here. I think oh man, there's a lot of people. My roommates, Kelvin, Trayvon, everybody, man. There's everybody JP
that's backing you up.
Yeah, there's so many. Like even there's people got to understand. Like even if you're not, there's so many ways to support somebody. Even if it's like, hey, I see what you're doing.
There's even people
silently supporting.
In your corner.
You don't even know,
rooting for you, and you have no idea.
And then you're just like, and then there's people that like they'll break their silence. Like I've been watching for so long, and it's just like I couldn't contain it no more. I want to say thank you. I think George. I want to thank George a lot because from Inner Strength Boxing, he's really been kind of always been there in my corner, literally in my corner, being my boxing coach now, but also just as a colleague in business, and he likes my music, he likes my poetry. Like he even paid this lady called Vibrant Arts. She's out in Sacramento. I got a nice painting in my room of me performing a song, and the way the picture was captured, you saw my pain, you saw it.
Damn,
but the way she
dope.
painted it, I'm like, damn, like you really brought this to light. Legitly.
That is dope.
So I want to thank those people. Just everybody that my clients, Julio from RC Liberty, the basketball program I'm attached to, man, and just everything, man. Do
you have any projects or anything coming out?
Yeah,
soon?
So I have a project called Set Your. I'm still debating on the title. It's either gonna be Set Your Soul Free or Set Yourself Free. But I feel like self is used so many times right now, so I kind of want to get back to the origin of the word soul.
Yeah.
It's called Set Your Soul Free. It kind of accidentally followed my first project called Escape the Trap, which the trap being like the physical world we live in, and then so after you escape the trap, the physical, you have to set your soul free. So kind of just connected the dots, and I'm excited for this project. As a goal and as a birthday present to myself, I don't know why, but I'm excited to turn 28. I don't know why, man.
I just turned 28.
Yeah,
yesterday.
Yeah, just yesterday.
Yeah.
Happy birthday, man. Oh shit.
Thanks,
look
bro.
how ironic. I'm all looking forward to turning 28. That's cool. I just feel it's there's more clarity now.
Yeah.
You have less time for bullshit.
Yeah, really. That's what I'm saying. Like it's a moment. It's like a moment of clarity, and also just knowledge, starting to get more knowledge of self and what you want.
Yes.
Like I said before, I'm a very patient person and humble person,
but sometimes,
and I could take in so much. But now I'm just like, fuck, no.
There's the patience, and then there's awareness of being complacent.
Like you're just allowing shit to just keep happening. Like shit. Fuck that. I'm sorry, I can't do it no more.
So the project should be out in March. I kind of want to do. When I release it, I want to perform like at 4 or 5 different spots. One in San Bernardino, one in like Glendora,
nice.
The OC, different spots that I consider home away from home now. With actually hopefully a live band, which would be pretty
That'll
cool.
be dope.
If not, I'm cool without it, but I would love a live band. It's a quick project. I think I might open it up with a poem, how I typically do. But if not, it's only 5 tracks. I have a featured artist on there, the homie. I'm not gonna mention who.
Nice.
It's quick 5 tracks. Title Walking Dead, Boogeyman, I Am, Penny to Save, and Smoky Mirrors. It's cool. Like I'm
looking forward to listening.
Yeah, man.
To
like I really I love enjoying that project. Like I'll listen to Escape the Trap and I'm like, okay, cool. I could have done this better. Obviously, you always want to do better, but this
improve.
Yes,
more, yeah.
But this project, listening to it, like I've been able to play just over and over and over
and you're
again.
liking
and I'm
what
like,
you're hearing.
I'm loving what I'm hearing, man.
That's
I'm like, okay, cool. Yeah, yeah. Like there's okay. I think you got to be content because you're always gonna want more.
You're gonna always judge it. You're gonna always critique it. So you got to love it, and grow from that.
Exactly.
And then the next thing you're gonna
Do better.
improve. Where can people follow you?
Yeah, so Instagram, so my artistry stuff, it's I am New Age Takeover on Instagram, and on Twitter it's New Age Takeover. Or you can find me on New Age Athletics, which is my business page where I put both pages have my fitness stuff, but New Age Athletics is more of my client stuff. It's more of the people I work with. Yeah, I don't Facebook. It's there, but I'm at a point where like I really want to get away from Facebook. But my Instagram account's
Connected.
connected.
So it posts.
It
it's
posts.
good that it's like on all platforms.
It's posts. It's all platforms there. Music wise, I'm on iTunes, SoundCloud. I do post more. I'm getting the habit of just being okay with just recording myself and EQing my vocals, doing the whole compressor and just uploading it.
That's what's up.
Yeah, I'm at a point where it's like I can't. There's a point in time where like the professionalism of getting getting somebody else to do it, and plus it's practice for me. I'm practicing getting comfortable with my voice. How do I EQ? How do I like to sound? I don't like autotune. I like my voice to sound
how
raw.
it is. Yeah.
We'll put some reverb in there just to fill in the empty spaces. We'll EQ the low ends and all that, and so I'm learning that now. So if you want, I've been uploading more freestyles on my SoundCloud, which is fun, man.
That's dope.
Like I'll just get in my room and everybody's like, "You freestyle?" I'm like, "Yeah, I do. I like it. It's fun."
Just vibe out.
I find a beat. If I could say like 2 or 3 bars to start, and I'm like, okay, get everything, go, record, let everything come out. So then that's Twitter, Instagram, and I have a website. I don't know the website by heart yet. It's gonna be connected to somehow, some way. I think. Wait, hold up. I have it on the phone because I did message it to you. Who beats me to it? Okay, I got it. I think I got it. Wait, did I? No.
No. I'll get it right now.
Okay, there we go.
Let's go.
Somewhere.
Where? All right. Is it the Wix one?
Yes, the Wix one.
So it's Nato's Dreamland.
Nato's Dreamland.
Yeah, Nato's Dreamland.wixsite.com.
Yeah.
/New Age Takeover.
Yes. So for those like certain people have the past of saying to pronounce it wrong, but I'm starting to get that. My mom was so hard on people mispronouncing my name, Renato. So it's Nato. Nato, yeah.
Okay.
It's spelled Nato, but Nato just has more of a ring to it.
No, for sure.
Yeah,
for sure.
That's why people are like, do you want Nato or New Age Takeover now? I'm like, I think I might just stick with New Age Takeover because it's easier to pronounce. But it is what it is.
Or like you keep on pushing that.
That's what I'm saying.
You keep on pushing it like that. People are gonna just be like, no, it's not Nato, it's Nato. Like then they go like, and you see someone's name and you're like, who's this artist? This guy? But then it's like, oh, that's Nato.
That's Nato.
Yeah,
like,
you know what I mean.
People know now.
You don't gotta change it up for no one. It's really what you want comfortable and what's more accessible to people to get. But New Age Takeover is different too. So it's really what works for you and what you're comfortable with at the end of the day.
That's true. I never thought about that.
So first of all, I just want to thank you.
Oh no, man, thank you
for being on this.
Oh, you're welcome, man. I had fun
and coming in. And before I get you out of here, are you open to features?
Yeah,
and working with people.
Yeah,
so if someone wants to reach out to you.
So yeah, I at first one of my good friends told me this. The homie Rush. He told me, he said, don't do features right now. Don't do any because your voice and your style it's dominant, but you still need to sharpen it. Because I agree with it because I don't see anything wrong with doing features. I think it's cool. I don't think every of my artist friends I don't think not every friend that I know who's a rapper or artist should do a feature with each other. I'm against it. Because you just because we're friends doesn't mean we gotta work together. Just because we're homies, that doesn't mean we gotta work together. And it's not on some disrespectful things. It's just how do I say this? I don't want to be the quote unquote king of where I'm from. I want to go global.
Yeah, exactly.
And if your energy is being
local,
we might not. I mean, we could get on a track together, cool. But where I want to go with it may not be your avenue, and you're gonna hold me back, or vice versa. Somebody might want to have bigger accomplishments and goals than me, and they're like, you're not where I want to go. I'm like, cool, no hard feelings. Yeah. But no, there's a few artists that I know personally that I want to work with. But no, I'm open to it. Like, and if it's not, that's why I don't really throw it out there that I'm open to it. But if friends know, like,
if you reach out,
if you reach out to me, like, reach out to me, like, I'll
and vice versa. Like, if you're reaching out, you'll reach out.
I actually, my homegirl Karina, I messaged her last night. I was supposed to send her the beat, but I forgot to. But no, I'm open to working features. But my way of on a track, it's slow. I like to take my time. So if it's like you need the verse tonight, don't expect it, because I'm. It's not that I don't mind.
You work at your own pace.
I work at my own pace.
And also, as far as right now, you're just doing private session trainings for your athletics and for your fitness.
Well, it's more semi-private. It's not really one-on-ones, because more of my adults are private, but a lot of my athletes it's semi-private, because I want to create that culture of accountability within themselves and help them create own leadership skills and call each other out and help each other lead. But no, majority of the time it is private.
And they can DM you.
Yeah,
and get...
DM me. New Age Athletics. My email too is newageathletics15@gmail.com. DM me, message me, tell me if you want, like, message me and tell me you heard me on the podcast, and I'll give you 15% off.
Nice. Yeah. There you go, right there.
There you go, plug it in
right there.
But you know, man, yeah, I'm a cool guy. I'm friendly. I like to talk unless I don't want to talk, but you'll know. I'll tell you.
Yeah, well, I really do appreciate you coming on, and
this was fun.
Like, this is a great conversation.
No, I was gonna say we could do this again, like, later on, because I enjoy it. This was cool. Like, this has been the best, like, flowing podcast I've been a part of. So thank you.
I'm glad you're comfortable, and I'm glad you really opened up and wanted to talk about stuff, and we can relate to a lot of stuff. Yes. You know what I mean? And I'm glad that we got that clarity out there, because there's a lot of people that sometimes like to hear stuff and don't like talking about it. And I feel like this might help people out a little bit. You know what I mean? And we're giving people a little bit of better understanding of ourselves, and that to be okay with, we make mistakes, we're flawed,
we're human, man,
and we're trying to correct them. You know what I mean?
Exactly.
Again, I want to thank you, Nato.
Thank you. I appreciate it.
For coming through. And, man, I'm ready for the New Age Takeover,
Oh,
bro.
It's happening, man. It's happening.
Nice.
It really is.
This is a Soul Disconnected podcast. I'm Win Tony Wrights. Thank you guys for listening to episode 11, New Age Takeover.
New Age Takeover, man. We out.
Peace. Yo, it's Win Tony Wrights. You're listening to Soul Disconnected podcast. Make sure to follow us on Instagram and Facebook at Soul Disconnected. Tap the link in our bio to select the platform of your choice. We are also available on Apple Podcasts, SoundCloud, the Stitcher Radio app, TuneIn Radio app, and YouTube. Thank you for listening.